Welcome back to DBS and the DFL studio, along with my guest, May Wayne. Now, where should we start, May? We've always got a lot to talk about, and I know there's always something that catches your eyes, and I know that because I'm used to getting your midnight. Is it yeah, you start laughing, your 2 a.m. emails. Pete, May Wayne!
I've stopped doing that, though. These days I don't sleep well.
Yeah, oh
so,
gosh.
Yes, I don't actually do that much.
No, it's true, actually. I noticed that. Yeah.
I'm not sleeping well, so I actually end up taking a sleeping pill or taking a glass of wine or something, or ginger tea, just to relax me, to de-stress me.
Okay, because I know that
that's why I don't send any more pings in the middle of the night.
Well, can you remember the last time you sent me one?
No.
It was about 3 days ago, May.
Really?
Yeah.
But I was...
Oh yeah, but apart from that, it was maybe about 2 weeks,
Okay.
so it's not too bad. But,
No, it's not too
but
bad.
yeah, so what's been happening in your world since the last time that you were on set? What's been kind of pushing you along?
I mean, you know, like most people in business, these are tough times for business people. We're definitely undergoing the roughest recession right now in St Lucia. I think it's really hit us late. So the last 2 years have been difficult, stressful. You know, as you know, I went through a lot of health issues with Rick, so that was stressful for me because it took, you know, a lot of my focus away and worried about him and how things were going there. But, you know, you had to. I just felt I was going for a stage where I was tired, exhausted, stressed out, and really work like I think I'm not the only person. Everybody is. Work became a chore, and so, you know, they haven't been the best of times, but I've tried to be as you know, just to churn on and go on every day and try to be, you know, make things work. You know, life.
Yeah.
You know, and like everybody, the famous sentence now is just, let's just hang on and, you know, things will get better. So really, I've been like everybody else in business, just trying to hang on, you know, that things will get better and, you know, keep loyal to the people who are loyal to me, be good to my staff, and just really, you know, and prioritize. I think in a recession, you do have to prioritize about what's important, what's not important, what things take too much time for you, because you can't, I mean, I said this about women, we can focus on a lot of things, but I felt for this time, I really kind of had to focus what was important in my life. And I think when women hit a certain stage in their life, things change for you, and you start to realize your priorities are different. And for me, I think I personally have gone through a stage where, you know, I started to realize what's important, what's not important.
But would you think that the trigger of that was when Rick fell ill? Was that the trigger?
I don't know. I think that made me think, yes, about prioritizing in life and what's important. And yes, I think that made me think more. But I think I was going through, they say men get midlife crisis, women get them too. So I think I was personally going through, you know, learning how to deal with menopause, you know, my weight changing, my body changing. So all of these things were difficult for me. On top of it, Rick, you know, getting ill, having to go through all of these, and going through a recession as well with your business where I couldn't focus 120%.
Yes.
In a way, it was a good exercise because you learn to prioritize, you realize what's important in your life, and sometimes work isn't the most important thing in your life.
Yes.
You start to realize there are friends that are more important. Family is more important. The people you care about, who you've neglected because you've gone to work from 7 to 7, you know, every day, and you haven't answered that email or haven't taken your time to send a card and say thank you. I think I've gone through that transition, and I'm now coming out of it, which, to be honest, affected mostly my creativity, which is why people have not seen me produce as many she's as they have.
You know, I was going to ask you that.
I know you were going to ask
because everyone's
everybody
asking.
asks me.
Yeah.
I mean, the last issue of She for me was a very personal journey because I wanted to produce it because my friend Karen had died of cancer. She was my age. We were a month away from each other, so it touched me greatly. So, and I just felt, you know, like I said, it was, and I just didn't feel there was a need. Sometimes you feel that you're always helping somebody and they're not really appreciating what you put out. So it was a personal journey, and she has always been a personal journey for me.
Yes.
So more than, you know, yes, the advertisers aren't what they used to be and all of that stuff, all of the real facts. But in the old days, that was never really important. What was important, but I loved doing it. And by going through a lot of the things that I was going through, somehow my creativity wasn't there. And for she, I have to feel good all the time and positive and creative. For me to think about fashion and hair and makeup and all the things I love, I can't be distracted. Well, who's going to pay the electric bill tomorrow? And who's going to feed my son and send him, you know, money for school? And is Rick going to be okay? And are my staff, am I going to have enough money to pay my staff?
Yes.
So these were things that, you know, they stifle your creativity.
Yes.
And so that's why really I think out of everything, probably she did suffer the most, because
but we're not suffering anymore, right?
No, we're going to have a great issue thanks to Haute Couture, which has brought back all of my creative juices. It's been wonderful, wonderful opportunity. But the St Lucia Tourist Board has asked me to help out to produce, along with Vincent McDoom, who's been training the models. And it's been really exciting. I mean, it was one of these ventures that I've always wanted to do a fashion show, but the opportunity never came out. I mean, I've always been involved to going to other people's fashion shows, being in fashion from a different perspective as a publisher.
But how did you get involved in fashion?
I started with fashion when I was in college, because when I started working for Weider and Rick in California, and they had just started the magazine, they actually gave me the section where to dress all the women bodybuilders in fitness and stuff. And that's when I started to go to all the shows. And I was basically, it was more as a fitness. So I started doing all the photo shoots for Flex and Muscle and Fitness. And then I would go into all the, you know, the Yves Saint Laurents and all, but I would only be looking at fitness, fitness lines. And all of a sudden I'd be, oh, God, look at that dress, look at those shoes, look, which have nothing to do with sneakers. But basically, that's really how I just loved going to, you know, I mean, and when you're in the States, you would have all of these, you know, all the designers are housed in one big, massive warehouse. So I would go into LA and you'd have all of these designers. And it was just, so that's kind of how I got into it, really. I mean, but I've always loved fashion. I mean, I grew up in a home where my mom we're from, you know, would go every season to Paris, to, you know, or to Milan to see the fashion week. So as a child, I grew up with that type of mother who, you know, in my handbag that I'm carrying now, my Chanel came from her. So that came to me from her, but really, as an industry, I got into it through fitness. Everything I've done is through the wonderful sport of bodybuilding, who's been very kind to Rick and I, really.
Definitely.
And, you know, and Joe Weider just passed away, so it was really sad because he was our publisher and created all these wonderful magazines. So, you know.
But talking about magazines, we spoke about, we haven't seen She. But when can we see She?
She's coming out. Well, you're working on it, Delia. You already did the outline.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be coming out in the next few months. I'm hoping we can bring it out. What are we now? May? I'm hoping we can bring it out, like, it's going to take us 3 months to put all this editorial together. So I'm hoping September will be out, August, September, with a great, great new issue. We're going to use one of the models from St. Lucia on the cover. So I'm really excited about that. And that's what's great about this show, you know, this fashion show. You know, before I would always go to Jamaica, and Jamaica being my favorite place, I'll be honest, for models. And now, all these wonderful models out of St. Lucia, all these wonderful designers. It's been a great opportunity, I think, for the industry. And that's what the Tourist Board has created. When they decided they were going to add an arts element to it, this is what was so exciting, is that all of a sudden you've had people who've interested in things as a hobby, but maybe now we can get support to help people. I mean, designers are manufacturers, and my pet peeve in life, obviously I'm a manufacturer, is all the limitations we have as manufacturers, designers being one of them, because where do you get the fabrics? How much duties do you pay? How do you export? How are you getting a factory line? How are you going to get, how do you compete with India and China? So all of these are realities for me as a manufacturer, you know, in St. Lucia, doing my trade, which is printing and publishing, but it's no different than the issues that Esther would have, or Delia Isaac, or Lynn Bristol, or any of the great designers that are struggling here to hone their craft.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is why I admire them so much, and I'm so happy for this opportunity. And I really hope St. Lucians come out and support us, because I think this is the beginning, I'm hoping, of building an industry. And we need a lot of stuff. We need people to understand that we can't compete in the real world unless we get certain breaks. We can't be paying that on everything coming in, that on everything's my, you know,
well, that's
sorry,
another, yeah, that's another
my subject, but I have to, I have
yes.
to touch on it,
Yes.
because it's a reality. It has impacted every manufacturer. Every manufacturer suffers now because that tax has been brutal to us. And, you know, that's a reality we're having to deal with. We're all dealing with it. We have to do it. We knew it was coming. It's just the timing was bad. But, you know, that's
well, I mean,
life.
I want us to talk about
Yeah.
those things, especially when Queen
Yeah.
Esther joins us, because,
Yes.
I mean, she will have first-hand knowledge and
Correct.
experience,
And
you know?
Esther's the longest, you know, person in this industry in St. Lucia. I mean, I know Esther, I could brag about Esther forever. She's been a friend of mine, and as you know, a supporter of she. Every time we want something in the middle of the night, we call Esther. And she stays up all night and comes up and sews for us.
Yes, she does. She's a wonderful lady.
But, you know, ultimately, it's you know, it's the difficulty of being a manufacturer in a place like St. Lucia. And that's the challenge of, you know, I mean, shipping it is expensive. To get it into Harrods in London is expensive.
Yeah, people don't understand that.
Yeah, and that's
they
what
do.
people don't. So
do.
I have to be passionate about it. And, to, you know, everything that you do is passionate. And so, you know, it's just been tough.
Oh, you hang on in there. I know you're a strong lady and you're going to get there. Okay, the giveaway questions tonight. To receive a romantic dinner for two served in the new Dachine wine cellar. Cuisine compliments of executive chef Mark Atkinson, with each dish matched with a wine selected by master sommelier Karim Boulay. Tell us, who is the most romantic couple you know? How long have they been married? And why do you think they are romantic? The deadline is 10 a.m. Monday the 6th of May. MAC has 5 limited collections on the counter for the month of May. Name them. And inside this gift bag that I showed you earlier is a lacy number that most women would love to wear. So you can try to win it for yourself or give it away as a gift. To win, tell us your 2 favorite Dolor Factor live show this year. And May actually very nicely said that she was going to give something away as well.
Yes, I'm going to give a ticket to the greatest show during the jazz, which is the Haute Couture on Tuesday, May 7th, at the Audi showroom. And everybody better get their tickets now because they're very limited. So I'm going to give away a ticket. And my question is, what is the name of Queen Esther's fashion line?
Okay, so you've got that question. Repeat it, May.
What is the fashion name of Queen Esther's line?
Okay, and you've got to get the spelling of that name right, okay?
Yes, she spells it.
Don't say nothing.
No.
Right, so stay with DBS and we'll be right back.